decimals, percentages to fractions. Method, converting percentages to fractions. So the first step will be to divide by 100, or we can move the decimal to the left by 2 decimal places. Then we're going to put the number over 1, and then we're going to multiply the top and bottom number by 10 for every number after the decimal. So it's a lot of similar steps we've done before. Now let's do the first example. Example 1. World Health Organization estimates that 31% of the world's population dies each year from cardiovascular disease. Convert 31% to a fraction. Well, the first thing we need to do is take the 31%. So in order to get it out of the percent, we need to move the decimal to the left twice. So we can go here. So step 1, move decimal to the left. So we're going to do this rather than divide by 100 because it's a little bit easier. So we'll go 1, 2, and put it right there. Now this is the same thing though, to move the decimal to the left by 2, or we can divide by 100. You get to the same answer. This is just a little bit simpler. So now step 2, we're going to put 0.31 over 1. Then step 3, we're going to go 0.31 over 1, and then we're going to go ahead and multiply it by 10 for each number after the decimal. So we have to do 100 because we have 2 numbers after the decimal. So we have 0.31 times 100. Now, we know if we multiply any number by 100, we can move the decimal then to the right twice, or we can just go ahead and do the multiplication. So we have 0.31. We're going to do our trick where we put it off to the side, the 2 zeros. So these 2 zeros go down below. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. Then we need to account for the 2 decimal place values, so we move the decimal to the left twice. So we get 31. So this is equal to 31 over 100. Because as we go 1 times 100, it's 100. So this is our answer. So our percentage represented as a fraction is 31 out of 100. Now let's do another example. Example 2. Convert 8% to a fraction. So we have 8%. So step 1, we're going to move the decimal to the left twice. So we're going to go ahead and add some zeros. So if we're moving the decimal, we go to the left 1, 2, and place it right there. So now it becomes 0.08. Step 2 is to put 0.08 over 1. Step 3. We will multiply 0.08 over 1 by 10 for every number after the decimal. So we still have 2 because we have a 0 and an 8. So we need to multiply by 100 on both the top and the bottom. And then we have 0.08. We'll multiply it by 100. Well, we get these 2 zeros right below. So we're doing our trick. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 0 is 0. Now we need to move the decimal to the left twice. So we go 1, 2, and we stop right there. So now we have just 8. So when we go 0.08 times 100, it's really just 8. Then 1 times 100 is 100. Next, we're going to go ahead and divide the top and the bottom by 2. Because they're both even, so we need to reduce our fraction. So step 4, we're going to go ahead and reduce. So 8 over 100. We're going to divide the top by 2 and the bottom by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 100 divided by 2 is 50. We'll just cut it in half. Then we need to go ahead and they're both even, so we need to divide again by 2 on the top and the bottom. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 50 divided by 2 is 25. So our reduced fraction then is 2 over 25, and this would be 8% represented as a fraction. Now let's do one final example. Example 3. If it was said in a given year that 52% of the population planned to get a flu shot, how could this be represented as a fraction? Well, we have, our step 1, we have 52%. We're going to move the decimal to the left 2 times, so we get 0.52. Then step 2, we're going to put 0.52 then over 1. Then our step 3 will be to multiply this 0.52 over 1 by 100 on the top and the bottom, because we have 2 numbers after the decimal. So we do that, we get 0.52 times 100. Well, that's 52 over 100. Now, anytime we multiply a number by 100, we can just move the decimal to the right 2 times. Or you can also show this like this. So 0.52 times 100. The zeros go below. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 5 is 5. We're going to go ahead and move the decimal over 2 places because we have 2 decimal places to account for. So it's 52. So now our final step is to reduce, because we want to reduce to our lowest terms. So we have 52 then over 100. So we're almost done. Well, we know they're both even, so let's go ahead and divide it by 2. 52 divided by 2 is 26, because if we were to go 50 divided by 2, well, that's, say you had 2 quarters, you take 1 quarter away, that's 25, but this is 52. So instead of 25, we have 26. Now 100 divided by 2 is 50. Notice that this is still even, so let's go ahead and reduce this further. Let's go ahead and divide both the top and bottom by 2. 26 divided by 2 is 13. 50 divided by 2 is 25. So this would be our reduced fraction. So if we were to say 52% as a fraction, we would just say 13 over 25.